In the case, I now call the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I know there are quite a number of members who are asking me to donate, but procedurally, you know, I'm not allowed to donate at the conclusion of debate, as you did, and therefore want to beg that you do allow me to reply. Honorable Speaker, as I thanked the committee in moving, Honorable Speaker, I forgot to thank our staff of the Parliamentary Service Commission, who diligently worked with us at committee stage throughout the sittings from Wednesday evening all the way to this morning. Honorable Speaker, we have very diligent staff members, some who did not sleep for 2 days. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, you know, we would have tabled this motion on Tuesday, but we couldn't because we had to allow our staff members on Monday, at least the afternoon, to take a break. And I must take this opportunity to thank them profoundly for their sacrifice and the time they put in to make sure, under the able leadership of Nicholas Emigen, one of our directors, Honorable Speaker, to make sure that we had a report ready in time. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to thank all the members who have contributed in support and even the differing opinions to this motion for approval of the nominees that have been proposed for approval and for the rejection of the one nominee, Honorable Speaker, who I said in moving is not an indictment as to her ability to serve in any other capacity. And I would encourage His Excellency the President, should he find another position that this Stella Soy can serve in, and since she's still an officer in government, then he has the prerogative to allow her to serve in any other capacity, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me also note that for the first time, Honorable Speaker, we were able to vet nominees throughout a weekend, and not just throughout a weekend, as is customary, Honorable Speaker. I know members, we are accustomed that when we are working over the weekend, we retreat to hotels. But Honorable Speaker, you remember me and yourself committing to the country that upon completion of Bunge Towers, we would utilize more of the space that we have in Parliament. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to thank you as the chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission, that leading by example and in line with the austerity measures being instituted across all arms of government, for the first time, a committee chaired by none other than the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission, who happens to be our speaker, a committee where both the leadership of the minority and majority sit in, and at least another 4 chairs of committees, besides the other ranking members who serve in this appointments committee. We sat throughout the weekend at County Hall. And County Hall chambers, mini chambers, became our home throughout the weekend. We prayed there, worshiped there on Friday for our Muslim brothers. We had a room where our Muslim brothers were praying from. And even on Sunday, those of us like me and yourself, Honorable Speaker, who are Christians, you had your morning mass at 7 a.m. in County Hall. And I had my 10 a.m. 15 minutes break at County Hall. And this is the new spirit, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is the spirit that we want to set for the rest of the other arms of government, that we can have austerity measures where we all retreat and do our work within the precincts of Parliament and other arms of government, because there are many government institutions that we can take advantage of and use to save on the unnecessary expenditure that would otherwise have incurred. Honorable Speaker, lastly, Honorable Speaker, let me thank all these nominees, including the gentleman and honorable member for Ugunja constituency and minority leader, the Honorable Mbadi Wandayi, the Honorable John Mbadi, who is now destined to take over upon approval by this House, if you agree to approve, our National Treasury. Honorable Speaker, these are extraordinary times that call for extraordinary men to the service of their nation. The Honorable Mbadi Wandayi, the Honorable John Mbadi are among us here as colleagues. Should we, and when we approve this motion, Honorable Speaker, these two honorable members will go now to join the executive. I want to speak to the Honorable Wandayi, who is here, because John Mbadi is here. When you get to the other side, the Honorable John Wandayi, Mbadi Wandayi, and the Honorable John Mbadi, when you do get to the other side, remember this is a house that has vetted you, and if we approve you, that has approved you. You will not be going to the other side in the executive to serve these members of parliament. But these members of parliament represent the people of Kenya. Please go and serve the people of Kenya. Serve them diligently, fairly. Ensure that the last mile connectivity program is rolled out across the country without favor, without discrimination, and knowing where you are coming from, Honorable Wandayi. Know that there are parts of this country that have been marginalized over the years. Know it may be fashionable for the leader of majority because of the region I come from to speak about one man, one vote, one shilling. But remember, as I speak about one man, one vote, one shilling, there are corners of this republic where young children and even people who are my age have never seen electricity in their homes. There are places in this country, Honorable Wandayi. My constituency, Kikuyu, is at 85 to 87% connectivity. Baringo County as a whole is at 35% connectivity. Marsabit County, parts of Luo Nyanza, because of, it is true, parts of Luo Nyanza, people have never seen electricity. There are parts of Luo Nyanza, Honorable Speaker, I have been to, where if you go to Suba constituency, both Subas, the first inch of tarmac was only seen in the recent past. These are injustices John Mbadi, now coming from Suba constituency, must bring to an end. We must serve this country as leaders who know that we are serving one people in one country that is indivisible. We must never allow again politics and parochial politics to divide our people. Honorable Speaker, if you look at what is happening today in the United Kingdom, if you see what is happening today in the United Kingdom, Honorable Speaker, we were a colony of the Great Britain or the United Kingdom. Honorable Speaker, if you see what is happening in the United Kingdom today, dear Kenyans, you will know that any country can get lost at the fraction of a second.
What is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, when the Honorable Junet wants to inform me.
No, it's not Junet. The Honorable Ado has a point of order to begin with. Ado?
You have the mic.
Thank you, Speaker. The words of the majority leader are really, really touching. But is that the reality on the ground in Kenya? The inequality, lack of equity is there. So let's not just make it lip service.
What is out of
make
order?
it. That's my point of order, Mr.
Ado,
Speaker.
what is out of order?
That is my point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Honorable Ado, that is not a point of order. Yes, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, I am very happy that the majority leader has allowed me to inform you. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader has spoken that the ministers must serve the country. Because in this country now we are suffering. Because we have a deputy president who's serving only one region, Mr. Speaker. And the region I come from are almost thinking of having their own deputy also.
Order.
Can we have people who are serving the country in totality, Mr. Speaker?
Order.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Cabinet Secretary nominees, if approved by this House, must serve the people of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, this morning I had an engagement with a relative in the UK who was telling me that what we are seeing happening in the UK today, and that's the point I was at before the Honorable Ado interrupted with the point of order, can happen to any country. Let us not take it for granted that we have a country that stands united. Let us never take it for granted that we have one people who are indivisible, save for our politics. We must never allow our politics to divide our people. Today, whether you are Muslim, whether you are Christian, whether you are of Asian descent or African descent in the UK, people are not sleeping. They don't feel safe. For the first time, I've seen the Kenyan embassy in the UK, in London, give an advisory to Kenyans in London. For the first time. Since I became a grown-up, Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether before that they had ever done so. But Honorable Speaker, I want to plead with us. Let us support this motion. Let us send out these gentlemen and ladies to serve the people of Kenya, and as they serve the people of Kenya, to remember to serve them with the highest degree of integrity, with decorum, and with respect to the people of Kenya. I beg to reply and beg for your support.
Order, honorable members. Take order. Betsimba, take your seat. Who does she want to inform? The debate is over. Honorable members, I want now to put the question. One, before I do that, if Honorable Mbadi and Wandayi are in the chamber, let them stay at the back. We'll allow them in after the vote. They cannot vote in their own cause. Number two, you'll have two votes. The first one on the nominees from 1 to 19. Then the second one is on the rejection. On the rejection, they don't go together. So I now put the question, which is that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its second report on the vetting of the